Gonna move on to the second one that's a bit more spicier than the first one. The first one's a bit serious. This one here, hey, I was gonna say, we're all single in the room, yeah? Majority of us. Well, not myself, but you guys are.
How are you gonna say you guys but not involve yourself?
That's how I realised, and I was like, oh yeah, you guys.
You didn't ask us our relationship status.
You know why? Because obviously this question, it will make the viewers feel it more if they know the status. Because obviously, so let me tell you the question first, then you can choose whether or not you want to answer it. So if you as a single parent, yes, and entering back into the dating or relationship world, like, what would be your preference? Like, what were the qualities you'd be looking for in the male or in
tall,
the
dark, and
female?
handsome.
Is that it, man? Like, tall, dark, and handsome, and then what past that?
So, you know, you got the relationship lady on here.
That's what I thought I'd throw one in there for you.
Okay, so I'm not going to speak for now because I would rather keep that anonymous, let people wonder what status I have. But previously, when I first come out of being with my ex-partner, father of my son, coming into the dating world, obviously I was with him for a long time, so when I got with him, the dating scene was very different. And this kind of dating is very like, you're talking to like 100 people at one time. It's very much go on a date, then it doesn't work, and very kind of like throwaway society. So when I first come into it, I was a bit like, oh, okay, not sure where I fit here. But one of the quality, or a lot of the, well, I had quite a few, but a few of the qualities that I would look for is firstly somebody who accepts that I have a son. That's the first one right on the top, because there's no point dating somebody who firstly does't do people who have children, and well, it's true, and there are it's true though, there's some people like that just
not
don't
necessarily, but I'll speak after.
And another thing as well is somebody who wants more children, because I want more, I don't just want one. So that's another quality I'd be looking for. And somebody who is free-spirited like myself. There's no rules.
Hey. Okay, so for me, when I also shall not speak about the right now, but when
it's a big secret.
I'm like a troll on Instagram. I'm always doing like, one day I'll be posting about some serious like lovey-dovey shit, the next day I'll be like, yo, I need a man to make you happy. Like,
you're actually funny.
I'm just a troll.
Your Insta stories are so funny.
But like when I broke up with my son's dad, I've been in relationships my whole life. Literally, my first boyfriend, I did a post about this actually. My first boyfriend was with for years, second boyfriend, same thing, next boyfriend, same thing, and then my baby dad, boom. So I had never lived like, oh god, yeah, no, sorry, not baby dad, father of my child. No, but I'd never had a chance to be single, so I'd never got to experience dating. Like, I remember I went on my first date, like, after my son had been born, and I ended up crying in the toilet. I was like, I can't do this, oh my god, he's a dick, why did I even waste my time? Oh my god, that's a babysitter wasted, like, and I was just a prominent mess looking at myself in the mirror in the toilet in Pippin Shoreditch House, and I was just like, I'm not doing this. And then I had my free spirit year, where I was just like, I was, you know, you said one of the qualities is someone that accepts that I have a son.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't that, because I was the girl that didn't say, oh, by the way, I've got a son, because I'm not looking for daddy. So you didn't need to know about my son, because I'm not necessarily trying to have a long-term relationship with you. Call me bad for that, but you have to understand, you have to understand the fact that not everyone, and also people, when they find out you're a mum, they go, oh, and they get into a different position to deal with you. Like, I'm still human, dude.
He's so happy right now.
Because that's the first person I've heard say that, you know, like when you go out and like you're having a proper conversation with someone deep and you can feel the vibes, and then like all of a sudden out of nowhere it's like the fact that your parent comes up and then the age comes up and then it's like, oh
yeah.
I'm like, wow, what happened? The whole conversation's changed.
Yeah, you feel it. It's like this cloud that comes over, like, what? So my choice was to not tell people about my son. Obviously, when there was someone that I was dating for a little while, and then eventually he got to come to my house, and there was like baby toys around, and he's like, oh. And I was like, yeah. That's it. Cool, come tea. Like, do you know what I mean? But dating now, I'm obviously my son's 4 now, like almost 4. So I am everyone that I'm entertaining. No, I'm sorry, that's us. You just threw the towel out. No, everyone has options. You should have been on my last podcast on options. See, everyone has options, and it's not bad to have options. You do. Open your eyes; they are there.
Preach.
So, like, now I'm trying to be. Well, I'm ready to be serious. So I am. You know what?
She went wrong.
I'm trying to take you seriously now. Yeah, come on.
Like, honestly, I'm someone that I'm very, very honest when it comes to things like this. Like, I am now in a place where I do want to have that family. You know, I want more kids. Do you know what I mean? So I have to find someone that is on the same page as me. Sometimes you don't find them in London, so you have to look overseas, guys. Just to let you know.
Overseas,
we might speak about this on a next one.
Different thing.
I catch like same feelings, y'all.
That's what I'm saying. That's different. So what happens if you actually fully catch feelings for that guy overseas? What's gonna happen? You're gonna move you and your child overseas?
Eventually, I do plan to move from here, so that is definitely an option. And also, the people that are from overseas, make sure that they have business that might bring them here as well, and then you guys can just work it out.
Okay.
And it all works harmoniously.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's a plus.
It's overseas, international. London's not good enough. England, dead things.
Yeah.
Now and overseas things.
A lot of the time as well, think about it, a lot of the problems that we have here when it comes to dating or whatever, or being a parent especially, people know my baby father. Like, and that's because London is such a small place and such a closed-minded place. It's like, there's not that many people here, so people are gonna know people. You're gonna know someone that's dated that person, but people care about the wrong things in London. Like, our mentality's fucked. So sometimes
I think that only matters if you want it to matter or if you let it matter.
I'm with you. Talk. I'm listening.
No, that's my opinion anyway. But on this question, yeah, it's funny. Both of you said that you want someone that accepts you got a child, yeah, and that was my thing as well, being a dad, basically, innit? Is like, yeah, except I got a child. So basically, I had a relationship after me and my son's mum broke up. This was 2 years later, so he was 2 at this age. And I got in a relationship. Obviously, I met the girl, really liked her, got on, told her I was the dad. She was like, cool. And I thought, cool, happy days. But in a relationship now, certain things started to pop up. And I was just like, alright, cool. And it made me realise it's not enough someone accepting that you've got a child.
She had no kids?
So she didn't have no kids, no. So when there's a commitment, yeah, there's an expectation, right? So we're together. So basically, what it was is, obviously I got my son every other weekend. So one weekend I felt like Tyrone the boyfriend, and the other weekend I felt like Tyrone the dad. And when I was the dad, she didn't want to be around. She didn't. And it's easy to ask girls, spend time with your son. Alright, cool, I get that, babes, but we're not trying to be a family here. We're not trying to do this thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want it to be, I'm dad over here and boyfriend over here. Like, I want you to be with my son. I want us to be together, you know, Sundays watching cartoons or whatever we're doing. I was trying to say, like, let's have fun together. And she went
Sorry, can I just say though?
Yeah, go on.
But then that's not someone accepting. If I'm saying someone has to accept to have a child, those are all the kind of things that I'd be looking out for.
But that's what I'm trying to say. So she accepted the fact that I had a child. So she accepted, okay, cool, he's a dad. You know what I'm trying to say? But then there's an acceptance of accepting the reality of it. Because she didn't meet my son until, I felt like, boom, this relationship was actually going somewhere. You know, say, so I met her. Obviously, I never had my son, so I told her from the get-go, yeah, I got a son, basically. So she knew that, and it was all good and dandy. Obviously, she wasn't really around him that much in the initial stage, innit? So when the relationship is up and running, and we're actually in it together now, and she's obviously sent my mum and my family and all that, obviously my child, innit? You're trying to say, and that's all rock and rolling, basically, innit? But she's not really, like, you know what I'm trying to say? And it's just little things, and I'm not expecting, obviously, I got a really, really good, my son's mum is excellent, like, you know, I couldn't ask for anyone better. So I don't need her to come in when someone was saying earlier to play dad or stepdad. I don't need someone to be stepmom as well, you know what I'm trying to say, but little things like, it's bedtime, like, and you can see me, you know what I'm trying to say, and you're not like, oh yeah, don't worry, I'll go run the bathroom.
Can I ask you something? Did your child's mum know about her? Did they meet?
They didn't meet, no.
I think that may have been part of the reason that she couldn't
That's got nothing to do with it. That's got nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it.
Why? Because I've also been the partner to someone that has a child, and it's all well and good meeting parents and family and whatnot, but you're the mother of the child. It's like, that's a whole different level. Because if they haven't met, or you've chosen not to allow them to have that opportunity to meet, she may have felt that you're not 100%. Do you know what I mean?
No, that
might have been that scene.
All due respect, that's rubbish.
Really? No, I don't know, because I don't know her, you, or do you know what I mean? The situation.
No, I just think this situation here, or any situation, I would say that's rubbish anyway. Like I wanted them to meet, but on my terms, basically. So I told my son's mum, yeah, you know, someone's going to be around our son, like, and we're together, but you'll meet when I'm ready to meet you, innit? Like, there's no time frame, but that could be 5 years later, 10 years later. That's when
so she knew?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you'll meet when I'm ready, you know what I'm trying to say? And that doesn't dictate my relationship. Like, my son's mum can't say, you know what I'm trying to say? Respect's there, but on my terms, basically, innit? But I wouldn't say, like, that's got nothing to do with it. And she didn't even bring that up as a reason why anyway, you know what I'm trying to say? Because I approached her. So I said to her, "Rah, you know what? I got something it's been niggling at me for a long time." And
was it easy? Was it easy though?
Do you know what? That same conversation. So imagine I went to the conversation. I said to her, "Look, like, this is how I feel, and I don't know what to do about it." I spoke to my cousins. I spoke to my brethren who's got kids.
But I didn't speak to you, but now I'm here.
So I'm like, so I needed to get I need to know how to approach it, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, it's a very sensitive thing, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? So when I brought it to her, it was bare animosity, and the conversation just flipped. And that same conversation that I was expecting to come out and have some kind of resolution, the conversation ended with us breaking up. And that was the end of the relationship. I was just like, rah.
She let it all out.
I don't know what it was, but it was just one of those things where I said to her, like, I feel like you're my son. And I didn't know how to take it, because do I expect that of her? Like, should she, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I didn't know if it's something that, if I'm asking for too much, or I don't know, am I making sense? Like, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, I don't think you it's a hard one, isn't it? Because obviously we're saying that it's good to somebody to accept that you have a child, yes, so you got responsibilities, and that you know that they're not going to hurt your child or anything. And then little things that you were saying, you was like, oh, I'm getting my child ready for bed, and she's not helping or something. Didn't you say something like that? Yeah,
as an
that's
example.
your expectations, that's your problem. Because you expected something of her that but
I wasn't expecting anything.
You was though.
No.
Because if you wasn't expecting, then it would have been an issue, and you would have had it niggling on your chest.
It stands out because it could be, if you see me like, okay, boom. So this is an example that happened.
It just got real.
So, family event now, yeah? It was a family party. I've come with my son, and she's come with me as well, obviously, as my girlfriend, innit?
Okay.
I'm talking to my uncles that I ain't seen in a long time. I'm catching up with my family members, yeah? My son's running around with his cousins, innit? But obviously, I've got to keep an eye on him at the same time, innit? You can see I'm catching up with my uncles, I'm talking, innit? The least you can do is at least keep an eye on my son.
Why? Why should she?
Why should she? You know when my cousin gave her goes, fam?
Hello.
Girl, innit? Like, yes, my girl.
But that's not her child, so why should she?
No, but this is my point. She shouldn't have to. No, you're completely right. She shouldn't have to. But is it not nice to know that man's girl is not? I'm gonna say like I don't know.
I think it might be a man thing, you know, but it's just something that we feel that. Bro, we just you're probably helping out and the progress.
It shows characteristics after my son. It should be a natural instinct to say, you know what, that's my boyfriend. I'm gonna support him.
Can I just tell you, as someone that has been in this girl's position, if you don't. This is why I asked, have they met? Did the baby mums meet? Did they know about each other? Not sorry, baby mum, sorry, your partner and the baby mum. Did they meet or did they know about each other? Because I understand where you're coming from. Like, if you guys want to be a family, then why is she not playing that family role? Why is she not stepping into that? If you guys, for me, the person that I would see in his son, I would do so much. But certain things I would kind of, and I might have that instinct in me to want to when you're talking to your uncles and be stepmommy, whatever. No, you know what I mean, right? Yeah. But sometimes you feel like this is not my place. Did she have kids herself? No, this is not my place. I'm not a mum. Is it right for me to do X, Y, and Z? So maybe from your point of view, the way that you're speaking right now, it seems as if you feel like she didn't have that urge. It may have been there burning her, but because she didn't know the mum, or do you know what I mean? It might not have felt right for her.
Like, where both of you are saying something, yeah, let me just get my say.
Or maybe she just didn't care.
No,
maybe.
This is what I'm going to get onto you, because like,
you get a gold cup.
Bless her out there somewhere.
Bro, I phoned her, I'm driving back home from my mum's, yeah. My mum lives in northwest London, yeah, and I live in South London. That's an hour and a half journey, yeah. And I'm on the phone to her in the car and I'm saying to her, yeah, you know, this is how I feel. She was like, well, I don't know. So I was like, okay, cool, like, can we like, I don't know. And I was like, so if we don't know, then how are we going to move forward? Or I don't know. So I was like, so is there any point us moving forward? I don't know. So was the relationship over then?
Bro,
that's what I was gonna say. Like, I didn't, like, I've come to an open mind, and I'm trying to reason with her. You know what I'm trying to say? But I didn't know if I didn't like. That's why it took me long to have the conversation first. Because I had to go to my brother and say, bro, I might be expecting too much of this girl if she's not doing. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's what I'm saying. I wanted to say from a man's point of view, like, I've been in a situation myself, and I've got to a point where I'm like, raw. I feel like I can't do certain things because I feel like, raw, am I stepping on man's toes from a dad's point of view?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel that. That's like taking man to cut his hair and them things then. I feel that.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? Because if someone did that to my you, I'd be like, listen.
But
man's hair, you know?
No, that's different though. That's different.
So it's just like...
No, I feel that because it's like the same thing. Obviously, like my son's got hair in it, so my son's mum was like, "Oh, I don't want no one doing his hair." So I said to her, "Simple, we'll do his hair before I have him. Otherwise, I'm going to get someone to do his hair in it." You know what I'm saying? So I get the whole like certain things that you won't do just to cross that boundary, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Even as your girlfriend, like you should have seen like from them signs. Like you guys were saying, Seb, you were saying, like, "Raw, she might have felt like." That's not what she wanted to do. Maybe that's not what like was right for her.
She wanted to do it. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, bro, from you see that, you should have known yourself. Like, Ross.
He didn't know.
That's what I'm saying. He should have known.
How did he know though? Because he didn't introduce her
No,
to his.
I didn't.
I don't think it's nothing to do with the mum. I don't think it's nothing to do with the mum. It's the whole point. If she wanted to do it or not. If she wanted to do it, she would have said to Tyrone.
She would have done it anyway.
No, or she would have said to you, you know what, babe? Like, I want to be more involved. Like, I feel like, right, it's distant. Like, it's the realest. That's the realest. That is the realest.
This is a little bit why, you know, at the beginning I said, my son, I'm not looking for daddy.
Yeah.
Because it takes so long to get to know someone, yeah. I'm not saying that anyone's done anything the wrong way or whatever, there is no formula. But for me personally, this is why meeting my son or being around my son or even like that comes last. My son's dad has a partner right now. He doesn't know that I know this, but my son comes back and talks the talk, right? So that's his business. That's his business. That's fine. He came back last week and the week before with new hairdo, cane rows. I can't cane row. Cool, do it, sis. Love that. But for me, because of all of this, like it's so much pressure. Maybe it helps the fact that I've been the step-in, stepmom kind of thing. That I understand the pressure that holds. So for me personally, this is why I kind of try and keep my son away from.
But obviously, when you meet someone and you want it to be serious, like I said, in the initial stages, so we was seeing each other for 9 months before we decided we got to be together, right? She knew about him, she heard about him, she'd seen pictures of him, but she never really met him. I was gonna say, she might have seen him in passing, where I might be dropping him off or picking him up and I've dropped her off after. I was gonna say, like, it might be quick things, but she never really spent time with him for a long period for me to see certain things from early. I was gonna say,
of course, I heard that.
it wasn't until it was in the relationship.
Moments.
You know what I'm say?
But that's why they say, yeah, that sometimes you have to introduce early on. So it's not about introducing into your home.
Yeah, this is how I
There's
see
one
things
thing
now.
being in your home, yeah, you don't bring people into your home because you've got to protect it. But sometimes it could just be that you're out somewhere and then you see how that person can interact with your child. It could be through passing.
Yeah.
Now that will tell you all you need to know.
Yeah, no,
I just don't think she had the mother instinct.
No, she didn't.
I don't
She
think
didn't.
she was a bad person or anything. She just wasn't motherly and she just didn't want to. She didn't want to
Yeah,
do
no, that's what it is.
That's
I think if people want to do something, they would do it regardless. And if they feel uncomfortable, they're gonna mention it. They're gonna, like, if I would be like, right, you know what? Sorry, I don't want to intrude. Let me know if I'm doing too much. But you know, I've noticed you might need to get his haircut. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you talking. You're together in a relationship. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you should be able to talk it. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school and I'm traditional, maybe, but I feel like in relationships,
Of course you should.
when there's the commitment there.
Yeah.
But you have to go to the cousins and brothers first.
I'm just saying.
Say it again.
I said we have to go to the brothers and cousins first, then you do the talking.
Right, the sensitive situation. I don't know.
So Tyrone, I'm just seeing him at the moment as well. Tyrone, yeah. What are you saying? So what qualities would you look for in a woman?
Do you know what? Yeah. So right now, and this is gonna sound very bad, so don't shoot me down. I've previously, yeah, I thought it would be easier meeting someone that didn't have kids, basically. Yeah. But like, I feel like someone that's got kids, there's certain conversations you don't need to have because you just get certain things straight away. I'm trying to say, and you get it by default. So you got kids, I've got kids, yeah, okay, cool. So there's an understanding there already of time. Basically, you know what I'm trying to say?
You get it.
Qualities that I'm looking for, yeah. So when you're talking about meeting kids before, I feel like even though it sounds like a weird thing to say, but I feel like that should happen earlier than
100%.
it needs to happen. Than
Just as I said, passing through. You could be in your car and then the person could be on the street. I don't know, whatever. And then you can already see from the initial reaction how they are.
Yeah.
And also you got to check if your child even likes this person. Because you're there introducing the person to the child a year into this relationship, and then your child turns around and says, I don't like them. Then what are you going to do?
Yeah, but if they're young, they're never really going to like them straight away because they're always going to compare it to mommy or daddy anyway.
Now, children are the best judge of character. They will tell you whether somebody is good or not. Trust me. If a child don't like somebody, just know that they ain't good for you.
Yeah, but is the child going to dictate your relationship to you?
Hell to the no.
There you go. There you go. I didn't like boyfriends.
I'm kind of different with this.
I think your child should be though,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
your child is the one that's going to
hated
be
my mum's
living with
boyfriend
this.
when I was growing up.
Yeah, but you was growing up, maybe older.
Listen,
You was protective over your mum growing
I
up.
agree with you, said, because you know why? Like you said, growing up, yeah. Like after my dad, obviously I've got a sister, and she was from a different dad, but he became my stepdad. He was close to me, etc., etc. Yeah. But then obviously when he's had his fallout with my mum, it's like he's gone a distance. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. That's no longer a dad in place. Now when it comes to like my child, I'm there. Why would I want next man to be around my child unless I know that he's certified, that he's ready to take not the stepdad role where he's taking for trims and football and things. That's my thing. Do you get me? Yeah. But when he's in the yard and around my youths, then we can communicate. My kids are telling me this, that, and the other. When it comes to my child and me introducing him to a girl and he don't like her, well, I'm gonna have to reevaluate the situation, because at the end of the day, there's gonna be enough times when my child is gonna come cross paths with my partner. Do you know what I'm saying? And if that don't function, I can't function. You get me? Like, I can't function. That's my child.
He's coming for us.
So, what age then would you say...
I've seen that from get-go, from my children.
I'm saying so you're in a relationship with this person. Your child is 2 years old. Would you allow that 2-year-old to dictate your relationship?
Maybe not at 2.
Not dictate my relationship, but I'm saying that...
Where's the cut-off point?
I'm saying raw. So say for instance, she's around my child, and she can't handle the situation, and I see that puts a strain on our relationship. So she's getting cranky, she's being short. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna then continue that, because then it's gonna turn to an end of a bad relationship. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's not what it's about. Like negative way to end a relationship is not the best way, because it's like there's things that are unattended, things that aren't said. Like, it's just not good. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so to know that your child isn't feeling it from the get-go, like for me, I have to reevaluate the situation. I'm not trying to say that I'm going to turn it down altogether, but I'm just going to sit back and think, all right, cool, let me just see how this goes. And then if it just doesn't take the turn for the right, then, or the best option, whatever, I'm gone. Like,
and I think it depends on how your child is as well. Like, my son doesn't not like anybody, but all the people that he don't like, he's usually right. It's so mad. All the people he has a funny vibe about, they're the people that are, they've got funny
my kids
vibes.
are like me, they're very observant. All of my kids are observant. All of them are observant.
At that age, it's all natural vibes, isn't it? Because they don't have any stereotypes or anything like that. So it's just all
but like
pure natural.
See, like from earlier, my son thrives on female attention. Yeah, don't know where he gets it from. Yeah, so he's used to being around women. Basically, I've got bare sisters, and his mum's got like loads of friends and all that. Yeah. So he likes to be, and he's seen me with my female friends in it. But when a woman gets close to me, my son's the first person, he will be playing with you. But as soon as you get close to me, my son's jumping in. No, that's my daddy. That's my daddy. That's how he's always been. I'm trying to say, and I just think that's just a kid thing more than anything.
But there's a difference between, at the end of the day, if you've got your partner or whatever in front of your child, personally, I'll be very honest with you. One time I was dating somebody, and he actually met my son. We were going out. He was my boyfriend, and he was trying to get close to me. I said, no, you don't do that. When you're in front of my son, we're friends. You don't be behaving like that. No, that's just my opinion, because of course a child is going to get defensive and be like, that's my mummy. You know, when I think there's a time and a place for you to be doing that kind of behaviour. You leave it to night time or another time, but when you're in front of your children, for me personally, I think that's why a child...
Shouldn't he being loved though? Shouldn't he grow up seeing, you know what, my mum's being loved, my mum's being treated like... Him seeing that is
at the right time. At the right time. It has to be at the right time.
But so maybe the right time, and I do agree there has to be a level of what that comes to. It can't be over the top, obviously, in it. But if you seeing you know, this man that's not his dad, looking after your mummy, holding mummy, hugging her, kissing her, surely that's a positive thing, right? No? Or I don't that's what I think. I don't know.
How soon are you doing this in front of your child?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What's the cut-off point? What's the age? Because, like, you know, you can do all that lovey-dovey for young, and that's when a kid can be like, oh, do you know what? No, that's my mum or that's my dad. So let's say the kid's 7. Yeah, when they've got a mind of their own now, and then they're having a connection, maybe or may not have a connection with the mum or the dad, whatever. Is that when you're going to listen to the child? Do you know what I mean? Because of the age that they are and because of their understanding.
I think it'll be more known if they were 7 years old. You get what I'm saying? They'll be able to express how they feel. 2 and 7 is like 2. It's just off their reactions about when that person's around. If they're misbehaving, they're crying, they're being clingy. But then it's like when they're 7, they can express fully and show the person, I don't like you.
See,
I've had enough 7-year-olds that said to me, I don't like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, little cousins are like, I don't like you. Like,
does that change if the dad's involved? From a man's point of view.
And then again, my opinion will never change, because at the end of the day, the only person that's gonna continuously be in your life is your child. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's been enough decisions that have been made when I've been growing up in the older generation that people have disagreed with to a point that they've fallen out with that person that is their father or their mother. Do you get what I'm saying? So, if my son doesn't like that person and they grow from 7 years old in secondary school, seeing that person as, I don't like that woman, or da-da-da.
Okay,
So I hear you. I really, really do hear you. For me, my son is my son, and I'm always, regardless of who I'm with, going to make sure that he's my priority and that his well-being and that he's thriving. That's going to be my priority. So for me, he will never, don't care what age he is, dictate who I should be with. I think maybe if we're talking about things where the person that you're seeing is not right for you, or they're treating you badly and the child doesn't like them because of those things, cool, of course, yeah. But me, anyone that I'm with is going to be, so I don't need to worry about my son not liking them, because he's going to be likable and he will deserve being liked by my son. But if it was a case my son just didn't like him because he got the vibe or whatever, I don't care. Go to your room.
But that's what I'm saying. Over time, if you see that it's repeated, you still don't agree that you feel
I don't care, because my son's not losing out, because I'm going to be doing what I need to do. There's going to be people in the world that you're not going to like. Like, you just need to deal with it. Unless what's your reason for not liking him? He's not going to be able to give me one, because the person I'm with is not going to have done or be doing anything for him not to like.
Yeah, that's true.
The only thing he's not gonna like is the fact that that's that.
Yeah.
And he's with my mum. You know what I'm saying? That's just a kid thing. As they get older, their mentality, in my opinion, correct me if you think otherwise, will change. I'm trying to say, and there's just certain things you just say, you know what, cool. As long as mum's happy, whatever. I'm trying to say, as long as you don't treat my mum badly, you're not doing nothing. And that's what, obviously, like I said, I didn't like my mum's boyfriends, but as long as she was happy. And nothing, you know, you weren't causing no problems and everything was kosher, then cool. I can't really say anything. I'm trying to say, the moment that, you know, voices get loud in the house and put my head up the bedroom door like, oh, you're gonna say that? What's going on down there, mum? You're gonna say that? I need to come downstairs, mum. You sure? Alright, cool. Say no more. You're gonna say that? You hear me? But yeah, sometimes you just gotta be. You have to remember that that's your mum, and you have to respect her boundary and her space as well. And I guess you don't really understand that until you become a parent yourself. And as a parent, I can understand that certain things my mum did, I can now understand them and really grasp.
Yeah, definitely true. So Amanda, we didn't hear what your qualities were. Sorry, we've heard everyone's qualities.
It's fine. Do you know what? Yeah, the dating game for me was completely different from all of you guys, innit? So with me, I don't announce that I've got kids, and reason is because I'm protective of my kids and through past experience as well. So if I was to say on the first time meeting that I've got kids, like one of you guys would say, then their whole attitude would change. Does that make sense? So it won't even be about me no more, you know. So they will either stop messaging me or kind of like diffuse the whole situation. So then since then, I've stopped stating that I've got kids. Now, how I deal with it is I will have that relationship with the person first, see how it goes. If we're on good terms, blah, 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 then if she's lucky, the reason why I say if she's lucky, because you have to ask me the right questions. I would not be buying my kids or nothing like that. 100%. So if you're going to ask me if I've got kids, I'm going to tell you, yes, I've got kids. Then it's up to you to deal with that information. Does that make sense? And then, it's, you know, I'm still continuing doing what I'm doing, messaging and whatnot. That's how it was with me, to be honest. I'm just protective of my kids. And that's it. If you got to take it, you take it. If you don't, you don't. Blah. So then, since then, it's just, I just thought that the day...
How quick does that question come up if you have kids?
2 girls, it's always been quick. That's the first thing that they ask because of how society is now.
Yeah.
Like every guy should at least have 1 child.
Yeah.
And most times it's like, and another girl, it was nothing until I think a month after knowing her.
Wow.
Then she asked the question because it was like, oh, because I can work my schedule good, if you know what I mean. So like, I know when I have my kids, I know when I'm working, and I know when I want to see you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I can work my schedule good. So that's the reason why she couldn't really ask me that question, because I didn't give her no reason to believe that I have a child. So my kids haven't seen exes or whatnot, you know, because of, I don't want it to be a thing where I'm with one person, they see this person, then they go too well. Okay, now I have to introduce them to another person that I'm dating or whatnot. It's long for my kids, do you know what I mean? And I didn't want to show them that it's okay I don't know, to keep dating, keep pick and choosing. Do you know what I mean?
It runs in my blood.
So I just,
I'm not trying to continue.
so yeah, so that's it with me. But yeah, I can give you a list, but then it's fine. it's fine.
See, that sounds like you lot are eager for the OTS challenge, you know, like, because I've got everyone's opinion, and overall, I personally feel like everybody is focused on their child, but everybody, like you guys said, that you feel like it's either that she doesn't want to be involved, yeah.
Oh, what his situation?
Yeah, what one on his situation?
I said that.
Forget it anyway, man.
He was like, it's different. He said that maybe she doesn't know where she
I just didn't want him to be too hard on her.
It is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is, isn't it? Like,
And I also see that the main qualities, like, always revolve around personality. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and the kind of vibe that they give off from the get-go. Do you get what I'm saying? Which in this society is really hard. You get what I'm saying? You can meet someone and they're completely different to what you expected, or like after a while they're completely different to what you saw at first. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, to hear you lot's honest opinion, most people did mention their child and that their child has to be accepted. So I personally agree with that one as well. Well, a bit too much more than you guys think. But it has made decisions for me in the past, I'm not gonna lie.
No, but I agree. I'm a bit like.
It has. As I said, that's how I was brought up in it. Like, so that's what I see.
And I think that's another thing. That's why it's hard, because culturally, some of us have been brought up differently. So it's all, we've all had different upbringings, and my thing's the same. If my mum don't like someone, then they ain't coming to my house. That's it.
what? How was your child?
He's gonna be 7.
7. And okay, boy, obviously.
But obviously, I haven't been single for quite a few years. I've only had one boyfriend, but that was a few years ago now. So he hasn't seen like anybody.
You had a boyfriend since you've been a mum?
Huh?
You've had a boyfriend since you've been a mum?
Only one boyfriend since.
Yeah.
I broke up with my ex. Yeah.
Okay, so you heard everyone's opinion on their preferences, what they would think would be their qualities they look for in the opposite sex. We're going to move on to my favourite part of the show. That's the OTS challenge. Yes, I like that. Do that again. Do that. Okay. Yes.